adding myself in here. Let's see. For some reason, my camera is too close. Adding myself. So, well, welcome to Dors Coding Skill Community. Basically, in this live, we'll be talking about two problems we're working with. That will be the indoor voice and the playback speed. And we'll also be answering the questions of our students. So, hello, Patrick. How are you? I can't hear you. Let's see. I'm going to add you to the stream. All right. How are
Okay.
you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Fine.
Great. Well, so let's start by answering your question, and then I can will work with the other problems. Can you share your screen with us, and then
Sure.
we can take a look? Great.
Let me find that. Where's my screen? All right.
Don't
Okay.
worry. So basically, this live we normally do every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And our students from Discord can join and answer, and we will be answering the questions. I saw you were working with your final project, right?
Yes.
CS50 Python, CS50 actually, right?
Right. So can you see my screen yet, or?
No.
Okay.
Let
All
me
right.
see.
Let me see if I can get this.
And you're planning to do a project similar to finance, right? As
Right.
the
It's actually a business model canvas. So hopefully I can. Let's see. Entire screen. Yes. Share.
great.
Go to system preferences.
Great. I answer your question on Discord, but we can take a look together just to check
Okay.
if that was exactly the problem you were facing.
Yeah. For some reason.
Don't worry.
All right.
I can try to help you from
All right.
here. Let me see if there is a way.
Try
Let me
one.
see on settings.
Screen share.
From here it will be easier because my other camera has zoom. So I'll be using this one today. If you want, I can share meanwhile the screen. I have here your code in
Okay.
my screen. Let me open it up.
Let me check the settings here.
Okay.
That seems to work. Present.
Here, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see yours. Yeah.
Great. So I remember the problem was that your code was failing on understanding the user underscore ID,
Right.
right? This variable. And you have this variable in here in your line 58 actually,
Mhm.
and you have all the setup for using the session part. I check your code, this is correct, and your database is working. That's great. But the main problem is that if you see in here the user ID, it's kind of hidden, right?
Right.
It's not displaying in white, it's in gray, because your line 74, it's not using the correct indentation. It should
Oh,
be one to the right, and then it will understand what is user ID and problem one, problem two, and problem three. I believe this is the problem because the other parts you're doing are correct. And the db.execute should be before your return render template
okay. Put it
because
before. Okay.
yes, because every time we use the word before, we get out of the function. So since you want to add to your database and then return the HTML file,
Okay.
so you should change where it is, probably add on line 71 and put the same indentation as your line 72. and this might work.
Okay.
Then we can test and see if it's working.
Okay, that seems to make everything brighter here. Let me check.
Great. And yes, the other parts they seem correct. I remember I saw your database and it was working fine. That's good.
Yeah, the other thing I'm having a problem with is actually it's a logic. I'm gonna run that by you in a second here. This seems to be running slow tonight. Um,
All right, don't worry. And you did an amazing, you had an amazing idea of copy and paste finance because I always suggest students to do this since finance already have a really good structure, the login, log out, the database. So
right, that made it quick, and then I also knew that I'd probably be working with you, and it'd probably be better to be working from a common framework. So
yes, yes, that's great. Are you planning to do CS50 web after CS50
yeah,
or
that's
not?
what I yeah, I've got to get this thing done before the end of the year, so I'm kind of
Right.
under the gun.
No, don't worry. You're able to do this. I'm certain about that. Especially like sometimes if you feel that you're not able to complete the whole project you want,
Right.
I suggest you to do like an MVP project. You just build the main parts and
Okay.
then you're able to submit. And then once you finish CS50 Web, you can get this project you're doing right now and build the whole project you're planning to. So this might help you if you're running out of time, because I think it's you have to finish on December 31, right?
Right. Yeah, I think this one's if hopefully I can show you my screen, and then I think it'll make sense. Let's see, I just
Sure. I
ran
can
it.
stop here and you can try it out one more time.
All right, so let me see here if I can go to the database.
Great. I'm not sure how can I help you because I'm trying to see here the settings for
Yeah, that didn't. Let me go up back over here. I'll try this one more time. Let's see here. I'll go
perfect.
present. It's probably on my side here. Share.
All right, don't worry. Welcome. So we have another somewhere else here in our live. That's great. This is something new for me as well.
Okay,
Doing a
so
live
I
one.
got something new here. Okay, so it's tell me to go to my screen or my Chrome settings here. Let's see here.
Yes, you have to be on Chrome. I'm not sure if you are already there.
Yes, check. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, they're saying I'll have to restart. So I'll come right back in. I guess I gotta
All
go out
right.
of Chrome. I'll be right back. All
No,
right.
don't worry. I
Okay.
will be waiting.
Okay.
Welcome. Well, meanwhile, then I will talk a little bit about the Discord community. So Patrick is one of our students here, as you see. Uh, he joined our group coaching because he's one of our students in here, and basically you can become one of our students as well. If you want, you can check the description and we have the link to our Discord group. Here you can understand a little bit better how it works. We have this video where we explain. And what are the main benefits? You have a Discord support where you can ask your questions and you're going to have access to a community of learners from around the world. So here you can connect with others that are learning how to code as you. You also have the group coaching every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so this time right now. And you can join the meeting here and ask your questions to me, and I'll be answering in a more personalized way. Because sometimes on Discord, it's kind of hard to ask specifically the question you want. And having this kind of a one-on-one tutoring in this group coaching is really nice because you can fix your problem easily. And also, you have more than 500 coding problems with solutions. So, for every little concept you're going to face on CS50, CS50 Python, CS50 Web, we have an ebook with some exercises from the easiest level to the hardest one. So, this way, you're able to. I was sharing another screen. So, this is the page I was mentioning. And basically, with these exercises you're going to see in our ebook, you can practice because you're only going to learn how to code if you practice a lot. Otherwise, there's no magic to become proficient in programming. So, these are the main benefits we have. Here, we explain why you should join if you're not convinced yet. Here, we have the testimonials of our students. It's pretty good. You can see more about what people are talking about us. And here you can choose if you want to go to the free Discord or the paid Discord. The main difference is that you're going to have our full support here. We will be answering you unlimited questions. And you're going to have access to our membership. So you can see the membership where we have the exercises. We kind of suggest what you should do when you're learning how to code, and daily coding challenges where you can keep motivated. So every day we post a problem where you can solve and see the solutions of the others. All right, let me see if Patrick is already here. Yes, he is. Let me add him again. Add to stream. Yes, now I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
So, do you think now it will work? Let's try it out.
All right, I'm trying to give it accessibility. Where the heck is it?
Great.
All right, how to
And well, let me see here if there is another way that I can help you.
let me see here. Privacy. I'm trying to find this section where I can get. Let me try it this way one more time.
All right.
Let me share.
Let's see. If this doesn't work, we can try to figure it out. And for next time, I'm not sure. Hopefully, it will work right now.
All right. It looks present.
You can choose what tab you want to show. And
Oh, they're telling me to go to my Mac, and let's see if that helps.
all right, don't worry. If you want, you can try to fix. I'm not sure you're gonna log in a different computer. That's
Oh,
the
yeah,
idea.
maybe oh, we all got Macs.
Yes.
System preferences. Let's see.
Right. Yeah, sometimes I'm a bit confused how to use Mac because it's my first
Yeah.
one. I never had one before, so this part of system preferences, yes, it's kind of complicated.
Where is that?
I'm not sure if they will ask you to restart. If this happens, it's okay. All right, our live
Okay.
will stay here for a while.
Uh,
And here I'm sending on the chat as well if others want to
okay.
join our live. You just need to click in the link on the chat. So were you able to fix? What do you think?
Is it, I wonder if this is an extension. Let's see. What's this called? System security preference, screen recording. Okay.
Hi, Ciel Moon. How are you? If you have any questions, you can send here on the chat, or if you're comfortable, you can join our live by clicking in the link. If you want, I can give you some time, and meanwhile, I can solve one of the problems of CS50,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
you have no pressure.
Oh, here. Let's see.
All right, I will mute
Okay.
your
All right.
mic,
Thank you.
and then you just send me a message here
Okay.
or on the chat or on Discord, and I join you again.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
just 1 second. So let me see, how can I put solo layout in here? Great. So I believe I'm the only one that it's being displayed. Oops. I think I did it wrong. Yes, great. Let me share my screen now. We're gonna work with the problem indoor voice. Is the first problem that we have here on CS50 Python. And it seems to be a simple project, but it isn't. It's a kind of complicated because, let me change here the layout. Okay, I think now it's working. Because it's the first project you're gonna face on CS50. It's the first problem you're doing when you're coding. So it's hard. Don't be hard on yourself. Normally, this is one of the comments that we get in our YouTube channel. Then I can share with you some of the comments about this problem and the playback speed as well. But let's see what is the problem. Basically, we're gonna implement a Python program that will prompt the user for an input. So it will be a message. It can be hello world, for example. And the output will be the same message, but all in lowercase. So if we take a look in here at this example, we are receiving hello world all in uppercase, and we're gonna convert here into lowercase. All right, so I'm gonna do the step-by-step with you. Here I have my VS Code open, and we're able to create a new file by or clicking in here on VS Code, or you can add on your terminal. Here we are in the folder coding, and I want to enter in the CS50p folder. So I should do cd coding, cd CS50p. And then we're able to create a new file or a new directory. Let's do a new directory first. We have to do mkdir, and here I'm gonna call indoor. I can do this, or if I want, I can click here, this icon, new folder. But I highly recommend everyone start using only your keyboard because it will save up a lot of time. So here we're creating a new directory. As you can see, we have here in the sidebar indoor. And to create a new file, we can do code indoor.py. Sorry, code, it's for Windows, and for here you should do touch indoor.py if I'm not mistaken. And now if we open up, we have here our indoor.py. Okay, I forgot to do cd indoor, and and I'm gonna put indoor inside of this folder. Perfect. Let me move it in here. Now, so let's start our problem. Our problem basically is getting the user input and converting it into lowercase. So how can we get the user input? If we take a look here at CS15 notes, they are kind of telling us that we can use the input function that takes a prompt as an argument. So we can display a message and we're gonna print out what is the input in here. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna create a variable that I'm gonna call msg for message, and I'm gonna use this input function. So let's see what happens if I just run this way. If I do here python indoor.py, it's gonna ask me a message to type in something in here. So in the terminal, I can say hello world, and that's it. We finished our code because we're not doing anything extra than asking a user input. But we can type in a message. We can say here, tell me something, for example. And if we run the code again, here we're gonna see this message, tell me something, and then we can tell something to our code. So here I can say hello world, for example. All right. Now that we have this variable, we're storing the variable message, we're able to convert this message into lowercase. And how are we going to do this? If you search in here, you can see in the hints part, they kind of tell you how can you do this by searching here some methods you can use in strings, but I will already use the W3 School resource. And this resource is pretty good because you can understand how a function works and how can you use this as well. Basically, the lower function returns a string where all characters are lowercase. So if the character is a letter, it will convert to lowercase. Let's try it out, this example that they are giving to us. Basically, we have here a message, hello, my friends. And if we use the lower function, it's converting here the output to hello, my friends, all lowercase. So this is exactly what we want in our case. So in here, you can create a new variable or not. I will create a new variable. So here I'm gonna say new message. And I'm gonna use the message variable dot lower. This way we're able to use the lower method. And then if we want, we can print out this new message and see what is the output. So here if I do new msg, and if I run in here python indoor.py, if I put hello world all uppercase and I click enter, it will print out hello world all lowercase. So it's working. This is pretty much what we need to do for this problem. All right. Then we can work with the playback speed. But before we do this, let me double check here the string if it's working. So let me talk to Patrick 1 second. Actually, I think, are you able, let me see here. Are you able to share or
Yes, I
no?
think so.
Great.
But-
So let me stop sharing here and we can see your code.
All right, so let's see here. All right,
Yes.
you have my screen now?
Yes, I can see. Now I
Okay,
added
good.
to, great job.
Right. I think just in case, so on the Mac, you have to allow Chrome to screen share, and you have to do that
Oh,
through system preferences. So that helps.
that's good. I will write it down so next time I will tell others how to do this. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'll hopefully go back over here to this.
Let's see.
Oh, that's right. I gotta sign back in. Let's see what I gotta do. Let's see.
Don't worry. I'm changing here the setup.
That's wrong one. Need to go to the bookmarked it a while ago.
Don't worry. Problem set 9. Great.
All right, so now we're ready to roll here.
Great. I can see your screen, so
Okay, cool.
that's good.
All right, so I'll give you a quick demo on what I'm
Right.
attempting to do here. And
Great. This is your database, right?
right, let's see. So let me go back to down here.
Great. Wow, it's looking pretty nice.
Yeah, so this is so I'll log. I mean, I'm just gonna log in as
Great. That's great because normally we don't work too much with CSS, right? And I can
no.
see that you're practicing. It's looking pretty good. Congratulations. Great job.
Isn't it? Normally it works.
If you want to create a new
Yeah, I'll
page,
just let me try it. Okay,
if
there
this
we go.
doesn't.
All right.
Great.
So this is like a business model canvas. So one of the things that I
Mm,
teach, and one of the things that I'm having problems with is students when they work with mentors, they normally don't have the ability to explain what the tasks are. So each one of these has
mm.
a modal that opens up and gives them the task, and then the idea
Great.
is that they would click on the different components of the business model, and they would get a form that they would fill out and then submit it,
Oh,
and then it would ideally go back to the home page and it
right.
would fill it out. So that's kind of the
That's
obviously.
amazing. No,
And
that's an amazing idea. Great job.
so so let me so that's the idea, and then let me take you back over to the code. So the
Right.
um so you already saw the structure. I just went
Mhm.
with one table with all the different inputs. So these would be, for
Right.
example, the problem section would have three inputs, and then I was thinking about going to. Let me go back over here. So this is the code for it. Let me go to the. So that was the
Great.
empty. Let me go to the inputs. So this was like the starting point of the load. Um, of the whole business model canvas, and then
Right.
I created one for, like, the index in which, um, each iteration, when it would go back to the index page, it would grab from the database and start filling it out. And I was wondering,
Right.
does that logic make sense? Or
Yes, it makes sense, especially if you get all the data from your database. The same thing as you did in the index for finance. You
right.
have to grab all of them. Even if they are empty, they won't display, but at least you can display the ones that you already have the data for it.
Okay. So then, I guess so
I believe this is it will be only one input, or for each one will be different, just to see if I understand. This inputs.html, it will be displayed once, or for each card you have, it will display something different.
right. So let me just, where's my, so that's the layout. Oh, you don't wanna see that one.
Right.
Oh, this is the inputs. So this is the full one that I just showed you. So for each one,
Right.
they all have a value. Um, some are null because sometimes they might not be able to fill them out, and hopefully that would just be able to go over it and go on to the
Right.
next card. What do I need to show you next?
Your
Oh, that's
application.py.
all right. The
This
obvious
might,
one. Here we go.
yes, the app.py. Great.
So
Yes.
here is this. Okay, so this is the one for the problem. This is the
Right.
problem root. So it would get, I'm using problem one, request form get, and then the problem. So this is the route, and then the card that has it is problem. Let me see. I think I've got it right here. So this is the form I'm using,
Great. Great
and
job.
um, so it
I
seems
can
like
see that your form, it seems correct, but your form does not contain the action where it will send the data. Do you see your line 24?
okay, line 24. So I
Yes.
need to have action there. Is that
Yes, you need to say where you're gonna send the data once you submit
oh,
the
okay.
form.
All right. Let me see. So
You should say action equals, and then you say the name, the URL you're gonna use for the function. In your case, I think it's a slash problem, right? The one that you're gonna handle the data. Great. And you also need to say what is the method. So here you can say
it's
method equals post.
right.
Great. I believe here post should be all lower, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think it is at this one. It's the
Great.
upper one that's
Yes.
uh, so that should okay. So making a note of that, make sure the action's there.
Great. Every time you have a form, always remember to have the action and the method.
Okay. All
Great.
right. So let's see if I go back and check. Let's try this again. All right, down there, it looks good.
And in your app.py, I just saw one thing. It's not an issue. It's just I think you chose to use this way. But now that you have your variable user ID, if you scroll down a little bit, you will see that now you're able to use your variable user ID in your line 77 instead of using session user ID.
Okay, so I
This is
can
the
get rid of this right here.
yes, and you can use the variable user ID
Okay,
instead. Great. Without quotation mark.
got it.
Perfect. Great job.
All right.
Let's see. Let's test. Now I think it might work.
Oops, I got an internal error.
Probably have to stop your server and run it again to make it work. Great. Let's see. It's still, let's see the error in the terminal. So in here, it's telling local variable user ID reference before assignment. Can you scroll up a little bit just to check one thing
Okay.
on your code? Yes.
Go up to the code here.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, because your variable user ID exists only inside of your if statement. So you should give one extra indentation. Because if you scroll up a little bit more, you will see that user ID is inside of your if. So
Okay.
it won't
So this has
work.
got to go inside the if.
Yes,
Got it.
perfect.
And then this can stay out there.
It can be out there if you want. It's okay. If you're not gonna have a get method, it's fine.
Okay.
But if you want to make 100% sure,
I'll do.
clean, yes, I suggest you to do this way.
All right.
Great. Let's try again.
Try it again. So
Great. Problem. We still have a issue. Let's see the terminal. So the view function for problem did not return a valid response. Can you scroll up a little bit more your code? Probably the slash. Oh, it's slash problem, right?
yeah.
Methods get post. Let me see your problem.html again, just to see one thing. So here we have slash problem, method post. I'm not sure if it's complaining because of the get method. Where are you rendering this problem? Just to
I'm rendering it to, let me go.
what is the part where you handling click in the problem card and showing the page? Is it in
Okay.
here?
So I'm having it. Let me go back over here. So it's going.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I think I understood. Your return is your get method, right?
Yeah.
So you can go back the indentation the way it was.
Okay.
Now I got it. In the end, you can add a return redirect to your index, right? Because after you want after
Right.
you
So
store your database, you want to redirect.
right. So I guess at this point, I probably should I just return it to the index at this point?
No, in here it is correct because your line 79 is working with the get method. So you're
Okay.
displaying the page.
Okay.
Probably you can think about in your post, after you save the data in your database, you can redirect to somewhere else if
Okay.
you want. But let's see first if this is working, and
Okay.
then we can worry about the other part. I think if you refresh, it might work. Let's see. Okay, great. So let's try it out. And then you're gonna click submit. Nothing will happen in your screen. All right, internal server error, because we might need to do a return. Not no constraint fail. So here it's complaining about the customer one, and this comes
Oh,
from your insert. Do you have a default, or are you allowing your database to receive no values or not? Let's see the structure of your database again. You're accepting no for all.
should I make it?
Besides, yes, let's try it out. If you remove this not to know from your channel 3, you
Okay.
can try to add it to your channel 3. And
Just make them all not null, not null.
yes, the not null we're gonna accept actually, because right now we're not accepting.
Okay.
But I think here we are accepting, we're not accepting. It's complaining about customer 3, I think. Let's see the customer 3.
All right. Let me go back here.
Can you open up the terminal again? Let me see here.
The the
The your VS Code.
VS Code. Okay.
Yes. Because in here it's complaining about not no constraint the customer one. Yes, we should change here all to accept no.
Okay. Customer
Uh,
one is, so to edit, I go like this, and
but
then
I'm not sure if we're able to change in here. Probably you have to create all your database again. You don't have any data inside.
correct. No
Right?
data.
So I recommend you creating all your database again, but accepting no. All right.
Okay.
I'm
So
not sure if you're able to do this edit right now, this way.
let me just add. Let me see if I can. Uh, oh, so I see what. Okay, so it's going into the database, and this is hitting the customer one first, and it's.
Yes,
I see now what's happening. Okay, so
exactly.
all right. Uh,
So all the fields you're not assigning when you are creating, so it will fail for customer one, but if you fix customer one, it will fail for the other ones.
okay,
Because since you're just adding 4 fields, you're just adding user ID, problem 1, 2, and 3, right? The
right.
other fields you have in here, they will be no. So you have to accept, otherwise it will complain. So
Okay,
you should change the not no field for all of your columns.
So if I
in your
just let me
database.
just work, I'll just do one to make sure I've got it right. So if I wanted to make this customer one,
Great.
then I would go integer, auto increment, no, not null, just leave that blank.
Yes, leave that blank because
And
if you
then this
say
would be
not
just
no
a,
yes, it will, as default, you can select no if you want, because then it will be empty. It will start empty, and if
okay.
you overwrite, it will add whatever you want in the future. You are able to overwrite by using the update command.
So that's what it should look like. It should read null like that.
Perfect. Yes. And
Got it.
here do you see the no, the message no and oh
Yeah.
in the my my way of speaking, no and no are kind of the same. Yes, you have to modify all of them. Here we're not
Okay.
able to edit each field. And then I believe you will be able to fix this issue.
Okay.
All
And
right.
then let me see here. So the next so if I run all right, so if I make those changes, it should go in, correct? Is that
Correct.
okay?
Yes.
And then to run the um what is it? So for the index part here, this is where I would put the um let's see, let me grab I had a set up code here.
You want to get the data from your database.
Right, let me grab
Great.
my drive here. Recent.
Because in this case,
Oh,
you have to get the data from your database by doing select star from the name of the table, blah blah blah, and then
right.
you're able to
So
get.
this was the code I was operating out of. So this is let me just bring it over here.
Great. Yes, this is
Here, I'll just
correct.
expand this. Um, so this would so I was calling this inputs, and I had a should I make that a dictionary out in front, or do I need to do that?
It will be a list
Okay,
where you have dictionaries inside. So you're gonna manipulate. If you want to get the each element, you have to do a for loop, and then you can access each dictionary you're gonna have inside. I highly recommend you using the JSONify library. I'm not sure if you used it before because you're
okay,
able to see what is going on. I can send you on Discord how can you use this JSONify because
okay,
it will show you what is the data you're working with because sometimes it's hard to visualize what is going on. So I think this might work.
okay. So the select star is the right approach here to just get everything out. Is that
Yes, correct.
okay?
Yes.
And then
And the where as well, because you want to display only for that particular user, right?
right, yes, for the and then
Great.
user ID equals session. That should work, right? Okay,
Yes, this will work. Perfect.
okay,
And then once you're displaying in your empty.html, you might actually before displaying your empty.html, you have to create the variables you assign it in your empty.html. I remember you had a variable called, can you open up your empty.html?
where is that? Empty. Where is it? Empty. Oh, here we go.
Great. You have this variable, if you scroll down.
Wait,
Oh, you
let
don't
me
have any variable yet,
oh,
I
I've got
believe.
the input. Let me get the input one. That's the one I think
Yes.
has everything in it.
Yes, perfect.
That
Then
one.
you have to assign these names. Or you're changing here the name you want to assign, unfair
Okay.
one, unfair two, in order to display. You have to create this relationship between your data from your app.py and the data you will display in your inputs.html.
Okay.
It will be pretty similar to finance. You probably have to do some changes in your app.py to display the correct value in here.
Okay.
But you're doing a great job. I can ask, can also give you one extra hint in your app.py
Okay. Let me.
because Once you submit the form, you want to redirect your page to the index function, right?
Right.
This is your main idea. So after you can scroll down a little bit. After you add the data in your database, so I believe it's line
Well, let me
72.
just, I'm going to make this change before I forget. So this should be render inputs.html here because that's
Good.
the form that's going to be filled, right?
Perfect. Correct.
Okay. All right.
And if you scroll down, you can go to your problem function. To
Okay.
render your index function, you scroll down a little bit more. After your line 79,
Uh-huh.
and in the same indentation as your line 79, you're
Mhm.
going to return redirect to your index function. All right. So once you click the button, it will add in your database and change the page. So you can see the new changes. Return redirect. And I
Return.
think it's index, right? You're calling. You're missing the RE. Perfect.
And it is
Parentheses, yes, inside quotation mark.
okay.
Great. Once you fix the part of the fields, I believe this might work.
Okay.
And then you let me know if you were able to finish this part.
Okay. All right. So
Mm,
I'm just making, so I got to redo the database so it comes up null on all, and
yes.
then and then
Manipulate the data according to the document you show me in
right.
here. All right, I can send you these two messages so you don't forget on our
Okay.
thread on Discord. All right, and please let me know if this worked. If it doesn't, there might be a little bug to fix, and we're able to make it work.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll work on it tomorrow night and or tomorrow
that's
morning
great.
and hopefully get some stuff your way and move on.
No, perfect. No, you will. I really like your project. It's very creative and interesting as well because you can use this right in your day-to-day work. So
Yeah.
hopefully you will be able to finish it. So
Yeah. I hopefully.
you will see. All right. Do you have any extra question? And then I believe I will
Yep.
do the last exercise and then next week, if you want, you can join here again. We can continue working with
All right.
the project
My goal is
together.
by the weekend to have it at least working. So,
No, great. It will.
all right.
All
So,
right.
all right. So,
Well,
what time is it where you're at right now?
for me it is 11 p.m.
Oh,
eleven
wow.
fifty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost
No,
9
but
o'clock.
I am familiar already with working in the time zone of US or Europe.
Okay.
So
You're all over.
yes, I'm not in my time zone, never.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining the live. Hope to
Oh,
see you next week then.
all right. Thank
All
you for
right.
your help. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night. Well, so I will finish here by working with the final exercise, and then we're done because I believe the live already it's almost 15 minutes of live. That's amazing. Thank you all for watching the live and joining us. I hope to see you in the next live as well. You can ask any question as you want. All right. Let's see the final problem. So this is the second problem of the first week of CS50 Python, and the logic is pretty much the same. We're going to implement in Python a program that prompts the user for an input and then output that same input, replacing each space with three dots, three periods. So basically here, as we can see, we have this space is space CS50, and we're going to convert this space into three periods. All right. And how can we do this? So let's think about each case at a time. We're going to work first by creating here the file. So, oops, I'm gonna clear my terminal. I'm gonna cd dot dot to get out of the folder that I am right now, and I'm gonna create a new folder in my CS50p folder. So here I'm gonna do make dir. Let me zoom in a little bit, and I'm gonna do here playback. Then cd playback. And if you take a look in here, now we have two folders, indoor and playback. Now I'm going to create the file touch playback.py, and we're going to code playback.py. Code is never working, but we were able to create here the file playback.py. Our first thing we have to do, we have to grab the user input. So exactly like we did here for indoor, we're gonna copy this line, all right? If you don't understand this, I will do it again. Basically, we're creating a variable, and whatever the user type in, we're gonna store in this variable, all right? And here, the input function will get whatever the user type in. If I save it in here, it will display this message, tell me something. So if I run python playback.py, we're able to see here, tell me something, and I can say this is CS50, like they mentioned. Since we're not doing any extra thing in our code, we're just stopping here we're not printing anything, all right? But now we're gonna work with creating 3 periods instead of a space. And when we see this, basically here they're telling us to search on the documentation. And I already looked at here at some things we did. And this is also a common complaining that we saw here in our YouTube video, because people don't know about replace. They don't mention during the lecture, but I understand the frustration. But it's important to know that CS50 will give you the main tools to learn how to code. So it will teach you how to implement input. That is the main function we use, one of the main functions we use, how a variable works, how a function works. But some of these extra methods, you have to look for it. You have to search on Google, and Google will be your best friend when you're coding. Not only when you're learning how to code, but also when you're working as a programmer. Google will never fail with you, especially Stack Overflow. But so I just wanted to show here some of the common complaints and how this replace method work. Basically here, again, W3 schools, we are able to use the replace method that replace a specified phrase with another specified phrase. All right. So how does it work? If we click here in try yourself, we're able to see what happens. Here we have a variable called I like bananas, and we're using the replace method in here. We want to replace bananas with apples. If we take a look in here, instead of printing I like bananas, we're printing I like apples. So we just need to use this replace method. We have to say what we want to replace and what we're going to replace with. All right. So in here, I'm going to create a variable called new message, and we're going to use the replace method. So msg.replace. And I want to replace an empty string. This is a space, a white space. So you create quotation mark and you click space. I want to replace the white space with 3 periods. All right. And then we're going to print new MSG. Let's see what happens. So now if I run playback python playback.py, if I put here, this is CS50 dot. Now we have this 3 periods is 3 periods CS50. So it's working. All right. This is pretty much what we had today. Again, as I mentioned, you can join our Discord community. The link is in the description, and you can benefit from what our students have, that it's the extra material to practice when you're learning how to code. You have our support in here during the group live, and you also have help from others from around the world, and also us using Discord. So it's pretty good because we know how hard it is to learn how to code by yourself, and we're here to help you. All right. This is pretty much what we have for today. I hope to see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. If you like the content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.